Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside the athletic fields here at Milford High School, as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Rail Trail Flatbread Company, a casual American dining experience specializing in an all-scratch-made kitchen featuring wood-fired flatbreads, an inviting atmosphere for the whole family to enjoy. And, of course, we come to you live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. Rentschler Biopharma is a global contract development and manufacturing organization specializing in biopharmaceuticals and advanced therapies. They take pride in contributing to nearly 25% of FDA-approved biopharmaceuticals in 2023. Rentschler Biopharma, reliability you can trust. Milford TV Executive Director Tim Coet here with you on the call as we bring you another edition of Milford Varsity Girls Soccer. Today the girls welcome in a rival from the Davenport division in the Mansfield Hornets. Milford comes into action today with a 3-3-0 overall record, good for fourth place in the Kelly Rec standings. Mansfield, meanwhile, in first place down in the Davenport. They are 4-1-2 overall on the season. Rainy conditions here in Milford. We've brought our cameras down inside the press box, but trying to fight through things to bring you the coverage here today. Tim Coet on the call, Patrick Arapi manning the cameras, and we're just about ready to go. Getting started a little bit later than we anticipated as this game got moved to a 5 p.m. start. Some transportation issues for Mansfield necessitated the change in time. We've experienced a lot of different levels of rainfall as we've gotten set up for the game here tonight, as the opening kick is delivered and action is underway here in Milford. We had some fairly heavy rain come through maybe about 45 minutes ago. It's lightened up, virtually no rain at the moment, but there could be some additional waves of precipitation as this game goes on, so we'll see how the slick conditions may change the strategy for both of these teams and change the execution on the field as well. Milford looking to attack from right to left across your screens here in first half action, as the ball squirts out of play over on the far side of the field. Milford already surpassing their win total from a season ago. They picked up their third victory of the season last week and a big win on the road against the Canton Bulldogs. And so a team that did not surpass 2 wins at any point last season, now at the 500 mark at 3-3 through the early stretch of this season. Not really the early stretch anymore, as we're almost now to the end of the month of September. Milford followed up that victory against Canton with a very tough matchup against the juggernaut King Philip Warriors earlier this week, a game that Milford looks to quickly put in the rearview mirror. An ugly final score of 8-0, with KP able to deal Milford a tough loss. Now Mansfield, meanwhile, sneaking this ball inside. It is not cleared, and fortunate for Milford that that shot was blasted just over the crossbar. A shot taken by number 7, Ali Fernandez, the junior for the Hornets. An early opportunity that, fortunately for the Scarlet Hawks, sailed over the Milford goal. Certainly going to be a challenge for the two keepers in this game today. Chloe Murdoch for Milford. It is Caitlin Trolio, the starting keeper today for the Hornets. Slick field conditions, slick ball, make saves all the more challenging, and already a tall enough task for Milford. Mansfield, of course, coming into this season as a team that made it to the state championship game in Division II a season ago. Came agonizingly close to sealing the deal on the state championship, ended up losing to Notre Dame Academy in that D2 state final by a final score of 1-0. Mansfield did graduate 11 players from that state finalist team from a season ago, but still stacked with talent. Milford trying to make something happen here on the offensive side. Quick pass fed inside by Chloe Pierce. And now it is Ava Baglione sporting the cast still on her right forearm, but was cleared to return to game action last week. Ended up picking up one of the goals, I believe, in that victory against Canton, her first of the season. She'll send this ball in, but denied on its way in towards Isabella Lacerbo. Mansfield now with some good footwork out of number 4, Olivia Dunham. And now sneaking this pass ahead, they had Maddie Fernandez streaking in towards goal, but Milford's defense doing a good job of clearing that ball out. Now a pass ahead once again targeted for Lacerbo. And Mansfield will push it back through the midfield and now cleared downfield by Talia Seri. Great to see Talia back out on the field, as she was one of the players limited by injury in the earlier days of the season. And meanwhile, Milford with a free kick here, 35:53 on the first half clock. Juliana Senna to take the kick, bending that one in towards the far post, but Trolio was there to make the stop. So still in the opening 5 minutes, as now Mansfield quickly sends this ball ahead. It's a 2-on-3 developing. Mansfield trying to settle that ball down. Milford eventually able to clear it out as far as the center line. And now drifting over to the far side of the field where it's picked up by Baglione. She now tries to move it along for Pierce, but quickly denied. And now here comes Mansfield accelerating into the box. The shot attempt taken by Ali Fernandez, but a save made by Chloe Murdoch. Chloe had a rough time of it in that game against King Philip on Monday, but now all of a sudden Milford with a potential 2-on-1 and the defense able to collapse in. Lacerbo couldn't get a high quality shot away, and Mansfield able to make the save. So Milford with a couple of offensive opportunities presenting themselves here in the opening 10 minutes. As we get contact across the middle, the whistle will go against Milford. And now this ball drifts back to Murdoch, who makes the easy play. Toss in on the far sideline. Baglione trying to track it down in the corner. Ball goes out of play. They'll give Milford the corner. First corner kick chance of the match, and Baglione now will settle herself for it over on the far side of the field. 33-29 on the first half clock. Baglione kicking it into a slight breeze. She'll drop this one down right at the post. Knocked out of play, and it will be a goal kick here for Mansfield. So nothing materializes from the corner. We play on scoreless. Coach Colabello with high praise for the team's effort in that win against Canton last week. Milford went down in the very early stages of that game, but did not get flustered. Continued to play hard. They were able to tie the score and eventually take the lead and hold on for a slim 2-1 victory against a very good opponent. Milford leaving this ball up for grabs. Seri now trying to settle it down in tight. And Mansfield eventually able to wrestle it away. Good effort there for Talia. Now across the midfield, this will drift its way towards Caitlin Kernan, who will just lob it out of play. And a toss in here for Mansfield's Lila Napa. So far, these teams able to handle the slick conditions out there pretty well. Milford will get a toss in here on the attacking side. Kaylee Turtelot to toss it in. You can see trying to dry that ball off a bit to get a better handle. And lobs a toss in the direction of Isabella Lacerbo. So again, nothing materializes for the Hawks. 9 minutes in now to this first half action as this ball will roll free right in front of the Milford bench. And Caitlin Kernan, with good closing speed, able to knock that ball out of play as Ali Fernandez looked to turn in towards the Milford goal. Sari now in a one-on-one battle. Milford will have a chance to toss it in. Seeing some of the chatter in the YouTube chat, just again, a quick reminder, we're dealing with some inclement weather conditions here at the field, so we have our cameras positioned lower inside the press box, not up on top as we typically do. So the camera angle a little bit closer. We can't get quite as wide as we normally do, so we appreciate everyone hanging with us, trying to keep our equipment safe and dry and our crew as well. This ball will take a roll deep back onto the Milford attacking side, but Mansfield there alone to play it. And now another good ball ahead here from Mansfield. A quick release on the shot that again is elevated up over the Milford goal. Shot taken by the junior Maddie Fernandez. Baglione, Esther Light. That ball takes a hard ricochet off of a Mansfield leg and out of play. 28:45 still to go here in the first half. Milford coming into this matchup off of that tough loss against King Philip. Mansfield, meanwhile, after suffering a loss to the King Philip Warriors themselves on their opening day of this fall season, have been able to claim at least a point in every game since. Picking up victories in each of their last two games. Their offense really shining. A 4-0 win over the Sharon Eagles at home on September 19th, and then a 4-1 victory at home against North Attleboro on Monday of this week. Toss in here, Kernan fires towards the sideline. Now this ball coming loose up to the top of the box. Mansfield will regroup in the midfield. And now a good pass and a nice slide in play by Talia Sari, doing the dirty work to get that ball out of harm's way. Milford gets the clear, and now good physical play along the near sideline for Lacerbo. Lacerbo getting a rest on the sideline here. She's made some good plays so far in this first half. Mansfield able to wrestle this ball away from Ava Baglione, but then sending it out of play, going in the wrong direction. Now Baglione whiffs on a pass attempt, and it's gathered in by Olivia Dunham on the Mansfield side. And another pass knifed up the middle, right on target to Ali Fernandez. And Milford's really going to have to be careful of these plays. We've seen Mansfield, despite the slick conditions, really executing those stretch passes well. A little over 26 minutes remain as Fernandez loses control of the ball. Esther Light getting in to that action now. It is Kyla Nashawati trying to move the ball along with a little backward pass, but Mansfield takes it over. And again, dumped out by Kernan. Moved along by Baglione. Nashawati now giving chase. Phil DeBow back in the area for Mansfield as that ball goes out of play. And substitutions now in for both sides, as we get both Landrys checking into the game. Kay Pellegrini and Talia Seri to the sideline. Mansfield on the breakout. They bring this ball across the center line. Milford defense able to cast it aside, but not out. And Mansfield will now fire this ball in, testing Murdoch from long range, and Chloe up to the task, makes the stop. Kaylee Turtelot trying to collect this ball in, and whistle going to go against Milford. Deep ball ahead off the free kick, and a chance from the far side is sent again well over the goal and out of play. Off the foot of sophomore Sophia Foley. Ball goes screaming past Ava Baglione, and now pushed back ahead by the Hornets. Maddie Buckley, and a sprawling play for Murdoch. She comes up empty, but that ball goes out of play well to the far side of the goal. Juliana Senna, the freshman, taking the goal kick. Olivia Baglione trying to secure that ball. Ava trying to get it clear. Nashawati will step into the play, but Mansfield continues to control. And Milford now trying to make a play up the far sideline towards Kyla. And then the ball goes out of play. Olivia Baglione with the toss in, trying to find her younger sister. She does. Trying to walk the tightrope up the far sidelines, and again the ball goes out of play. Milford will get a substitution in. Just a quick breather for Lacerbo. She will return. Another attempt for Milford to get the ball back in play. Now Baglione will send a pass over the middle, takes a one-hop in towards the keeper. And Caitlin Trolio able to make the stop. Back across the midfield line, Murdoch coming way out from the net. Defense having to get back into position, but that ball is in. And Coach Colabello with his arms fully outstretched, incredulous of the decision-making there for Murdoch as she came all the way to the edge of the box, then got caught in no man's land. And an easy score for the Hornets. I believe that was number 25, Sophia Foley. And so right at the near midway point of this first half, Mansfield able to take a 1-0 lead. One thing that's really been a hallmark of Chloe Murdoch's time as the starting keeper for this varsity team is her aggressiveness. We've seen her a lot of times unfazed at coming right out to the edge of the box, trying to cut down angles, make big plays. Sometimes that can work out in your favor, and then other times like that, you just get caught a little too far out of position. Milford in a scramble tried to get some defensive players back deep to guard the net, but it ended up being an easy chip in for Foley to give Mansfield the lead. And so now here's Foley again on the attack. She'll fire another one in towards net, this one up and over. So we'll see what that goal does to ramp up the offensive attack here for Mansfield. Mansfield coming into play today had scored a total of 17 goals on the season. That's tops in the Davenport division, but third overall in the Hockomock League behind King Philip, who has 25 goals coming into action today, and Franklin with 19. There's KP able to pad those goals scored numbers, dropping 8 on Milford on Monday of this week. Another nice pass just out of the reach of Maddie Fernandez. Alexa Landry trying to stay close. Landry back out there. Coach Colabello said that he would monitor her minutes in this game as she is still recovering from an ankle injury. Kernan back deep defensively here for Milford. And meanwhile, we'll get the first corner kick of the half on the Mansfield side. Maddie Fernandez to take the kick. And this goes on top of the goal and rolls down out of play. Senna trying to clear this ball out. Dropped right back in by Mansfield. Now ticked back across the center line. Nashawati now trying to feed a pass forward towards Lacerbo, but well out in front and eventually scooped up by Trolio. Dumped back across by Landry. Off Lacerbo's foot. It's picked up by Lauren Signoriello. Again, Landry with a clear. Mansfield defense calmly back to get it. Gabby Seifert. And another whistle goes against the Scarlet Hawks, drawing the frustration from some of the fans here in attendance. As you could imagine, a more sparse crowd for this one tonight, given the less than ideal weather conditions. Good closing speed there on the ball for Juliana Senna. Now moved ahead out of the reach of Lacerbo, and again Trolio is able to pick it up. Kaylee Turtelot with a nice play, preventing the clear out, but now Mansfield with a chance to move it forward. All the way to the corner, just shy as it turns out. That ball takes a roll out of play. Milford will toss in. Kate Pellegrini back out into the game, will toss it. Just out of the reach of Pierce. And now a great pass. And Murdoch protecting by the post, making sure that ball did not angle in. Shot just offline from Megan McCann, a senior for the Hornets. Dunham with a pass ahead. Milford can't quite get it clear. This ball goes sideways across towards the near sideline and then out of play for a toss-in for Mansfield. Kernan elects to let that ball drift back across the goal line. It will be a corner kick. Second of the half for the Hornets. Just under 14 minutes remaining in the first half. Again, it's Maddie Fernandez to make the kick. Low and redirected. Taking a hard ricochet off the post. McCann was there. Had the ball come right to her. Fired it off the far post. And it did not cross the goal line. Fortunate bounce there for Milford. Now Pellegrini able to get the clear. Milford finds Nashawati. Kyla hasn't had a lot of space in this game. Now Taliaseri in a full sprint down the far sideline. That ball goes out of play. Short toss finds Ava Baglione. She tries to cut through a crowd. Now puts pressure on from behind. Hard ricochet out. And this ball drifts towards the far side of the Mansfield goal and out of play. And they will award Milford a corner kick. Chloe Pierce jumping on that ball, making things interesting in the box. And now Milford will have their second corner kick chance of the half. Ava Baglione lined up to make the kick. Olivia Baglione will return to the field here, replacing Chloe Pierce. And a low line drive kick goes right off of Isabella Lacerbo's foot and out of play. And we'll get a goal kick here for the Mansfield Hornets as we drop down inside of 12 minutes to play. Still in the first half. Mansfield with a short kick. nearly stolen by Kaylee Turtelot. Now Olivia Baglione putting a lot of pressure on. And now Mansfield finds some space. Caitlin Kernan now applies some pressure. And eventually Mansfield able to sneak this pass through. And it forces Senna to make the play out on the near sideline. And a trip will give the Hornets a free kick. A dangerous spot on the field for it. Olivia Dunham lined up to make the free kick for Mansfield. A one-hop shot deflected away by Chloe Murdoch. And the ball rolls over towards the far side of the field and out of play. Substitutions come in. As Mansfield will line up for another corner. This one blasted past everyone. It will go the width of the field and out of play. Milford with the toss in finds Caitlin Kernan, who now sends a shot right towards Nashawati. It was initially met by Mansfield, now pushed ahead. Playable here for Taliaseri, and leaves that ball a little too far out in front, and it gave Vial Dubois a chance to push that ball out of play. All got started with a nice pass to the middle by Kernan, and then a good feed finding the speedy Seri, but a self-pass that she left too far out in front of her. Milford will have a chance to toss in here from the far sideline. And now a ball deflected out of play that will give the Scarlet Hawks a corner. 9 minutes to go in the half. Again, it's Baglione. Milford cannot angle that for a look on goal. It will be dumped back in all the way on net by Senna. And a stop made by Caitlin Trolio. Still a 1-0 Mansfield lead. Late stages of the first half. Kernan will dump it in once again in the direction of Nashawati. Mansfield defense has kept Kyla in check through this first half. Emma McPherson for Mansfield, looking like she's been charged with keeping an eye on the speedy sophomore Nashawati. Milford going the safe route as Landry plays that ball out on the near sideline. Take us down inside 7.5 minutes to go. Toss and finds Dunham. Quick clear for Kernan, and now booted deeper downfield by Turtelot. And now turned back upfield by the Hornets. Landry trying to close in. This ball now up for grabs, and a hard collision as Kernan comes flying in on Maddie Fernandez. No whistle. Mansfield fans unhappy with the no call. Room to move again over the middle for the Hornets. This ball will ricochet back to Maddie Buckley. And we'll take a nice high hop in towards Murdoch. She's able to make the stop with ease. And we'll clear this ball out as we tick down to 6 minutes to play in the first half. Ahead, a little touch pass. Ends up finding its way over the middle to McCann. And now out of the far corner. It's knocked away by Juliana Senna. Picked up now by Ali Fernandez. And the ball goes out. It will be another corner kick for the Hornets. 4 now in the half. Drops that one down at the far post. Now rolling towards the near sideline. Milford able to keep it in. Nope, that ball goes out of play. So a toss in here for the Hornets. Again, Baglione has trouble with the clear. And now blasted out off the foot of Senna. And corner kick number 5 of the half now for the Hornets. Mansfield trying to get the redirect with the header. Milford clears it to the edge of the box. Now, again, they get bodies in the way as that shot came in. Now Baglione using the body, trying to get the clear. Coming in from the near corner now. It's McCann. Has one defender to beat. Has to roll this one in softly as Kay Pellegrini kept good positioning there defensively. And Murdoch holds on now to calm things down. A lot of chances there on that possession for Mansfield, but the defense able to hold up. Immediately again, Mansfield goes on the attack. Ava Baglione able to get in the way. Mansfield regroups up the near sideline now again. Players struggling to settle this ball down. Now Baglione with a good ball that is intercepted on the way towards Isabella Lacerbo. And up ahead here, good 2-on-1 executed and finished by Ali Fernandez. Ball took some tricky hops on the way, but a nice feed from Maddie Fernandez to Ali Fernandez, who finishes and doubles the Mansfield lead here with a little over 2.5 minutes remaining. Mansfield's been able to keep the pressure on offensively through this last 10 or 15 minute stretch. Milford has not been able to get much generated on the other side of the field, and eventually the Hornets break through with their second goal. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half now, so the game clock frozen. Cleared out to Pierce. Now pushed ahead by Baglione, but no one out in front except for Trolio and net. Lights on here at the Milford turf. Heavy clouds overhead, on and off precipitation down at the field. As Mansfield holds a 2-0 lead, looking for more, and this time Murdoch able to come out to make the big play, denying Maddie Fernandez, who assisted on that goal moments ago. Hornets will get another corner kick. And Murdoch swatting that ball out to the edge of the box. Finds Baglione. Ball ends up rolling out of play. Fernandez keeping positioning in front of Baglione to make sure the Hornets could get the toss. Now Turtelot gets bumped off the ball as Fernandez tries to make the play out of the corner. Ball goes out, and corner kick number 7 in the half now for Mansfield. Closing seconds of this first half. And a deflection out to the far side of the goal, and that will be the final play of the first half. So Mansfield ultimately able to score 2. The first goal notched by Sophia Foley, and then in those closing minutes it was Ali Fernandez off the feed from Maddie Fernandez, able to double the Mansfield lead to 2-0. So that's where we stand. Typically about a 7 or 8 minute intermission here at the field, so any of us joining on our live coverage, whether it's locally here on our educational channel, our Verizon HD channel, or if you're with us on the YouTube live stream, hang tight for the next few minutes, and then we'll be back with second half action in this matchup between Milford and Mansfield as we bring you the coverage from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. Coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics here on Milford TV is presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Back once again live from the Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth as we enter into second half coverage of this varsity girls soccer matchup between the Milford Scarlet Hawks and the visiting Mansfield Hornets. Tim Coet here on the call. Once again, our presenting sponsor for Scarlet Hawks Athletics here on Milford TV is the Rail Trail Flatbread Company, and right out of the gates, Mansfield with a prime scoring opportunity denied by a one-handed stop from Chloe Murdoch. And so Mansfield, who had really all of the scoring chances from about the 20-minute mark on in that first half, now pick up right where they left off. They'll have a corner kick here after that desperation save from Murdoch. 7 corner kicks in the first half. And this time, they'll make the play out of the near corner, and that ball scoots through completely untouched and out across the goal line, and Milford will have a chance to clear it out. If you're just joining the coverage, Mansfield scored right around the midway point of the first half. Sophia Foley, a sophomore, on a bit of a defensive breakdown for Milford to give the Hornets a 1-0 lead, and then late in the half, Ali Fernandez able to tack on to give Mansfield the 2-0 advantage as we start up here in the second half. And the corner kicks just keep on coming. This one redirected to the outside of the goal off the foot of Olivia Dunham. Milford with a 3-3 record coming into play today. Mansfield at 4-1-2. Daglione getting whistled for the push. And a free kick now to be taken by Dunham. This will curl in for an easy stop for Murdoch. Ashawati gets to that ball, but it ricochets right back in to the Mansfield attacking side. And forces Milford to push it out to the near sideline. Deep toss in coming up here for the Hornets. Mansfield continuing to apply all kinds of pressure. Murdoch able to make the stop on that long shot coming in from Dunham. Milford having to keep such an emphasis on the defensive side of the field. We haven't been able to see much in the way of offensive chances for the Hawks since the early stages of the first half. Trying to get this ball ahead to Nashawati. Ends up leaving it behind. Lacerbo tries to keep the possession going for Milford. Mansfield able to clear out along the far sideline. And now up ahead, Murdoch able to get there ahead of a streaking Ali Fernandez. Now here's Fernandez again. The ball knocked away by Kay Pellegrini. Crossing pass here intercepted by Milford. The ball ricochets over towards the far sideline and out. Milford will have the chance to toss it back in. Milford again having trouble getting the clear, and now Sari will send it out of play. It has stayed relatively rain-free since the game began. As this ball slices through, picked up by Murdoch. Looking at the radar during halftime, another wave of rain is approaching from the west, so expect to see some more showers out there as we get deeper into the second half. Baglione can't get there in time. Mansfield now back across the center line. Footing an issue there, but Mansfield able to gather back in for the elevated shot and the score. Lauren Signoriello had that initial slip up, but then able to quickly regain her footing, got through a couple of defenders, and then elevated that shot top shelf out of the reach of Murdoch. And so you can make it a 3-0 Mansfield lead now with a little over 33.5 minutes remaining. So the offense has really disappeared for Milford over their last two games, albeit against very difficult competition. But it's now been 11 straight goals scored by their opposition. Meanwhile, Milford making a substitution as Alexa Landry comes off the field. Looking like she was favoring that injured ankle a bit. Eva Baglione moving this ball ahead in the direction of Lacerbo. Now Turtelot with it along the far sideline, trying to push it in towards net. Moved along by Nashawati on the header, but pops across the goal mouth, gathered in now by Pierce. And up ahead, Sari trying to save it. And Milford expecting to get the toss in. They get the bad news. And frustration on the sideline. Mansfield on the assault once again. Trying to center this pass up, and just out of the reach of Ali Fernandez, who was right there at the near post. Now it comes flying back in off of number 20 for Mansfield, Maddie Buckley. And still in a dangerous spot on the field and put away for the fourth goal of the game for the Mansfield Hornets. Milford just could not get that ball out of the box, and you can make it a second goal now in the half for Signoriello. Goals about 2 minutes apart. Milford looking a bit demoralized out there now as they find themselves on the wrong end of another lopsided score. Substitutions now coming in for both teams as we're just now about to approach 10 minutes in to the second half. Mansfield now up to 21 total goals scored on the season as we start to see some umbrellas pop up in the crowd. So the rain, as expected, starting to fill back in. So again, Mansfield, after that opening day loss against King Philip, which was a close game, a 3-2 loss. After that, they played to a 2-2 tie against Oliver Ames on the road. They were able to defeat Attleboro 1-0 in Attleboro. Then notched a 3-0 non-conference win against Melrose. A 1-1 draw on the road against Stoughton, and then back-to-back 4-goal games en route to this one here today, and they tack another one on the scoreboard as they continue to put a lot of traffic in front of Murdoch. A good pass in from the far corner that was finished off at point-blank range, and it was number 17, Megan McCann. And Coach Colabello calls the timeout, stopping the clock with 28:54. Still a long way to go in this second half in a game that is quickly getting out of hand. It's now 5-0. So tough conversations on the Milford sideline as they struggle against these tough Hockomock League opponents. Just hard to find an easy game on the schedule in this league. We say it year in and year out. Milford hoping they were building some momentum on the season after that big win at Canton. Was not only a signature win against a playoff caliber opponent, but also helped them establish a higher win total than they had all of last season. But now back-to-back difficult games against King Philip and Mansfield, and right now it's 13 unanswered goals for Milford opponents over the course of these last two games, and still 28 minutes and change to go here in the second half. So Coach Colabello trying to rally the troops. Milford now returning to the field as well. A tough one for Chloe Murdoch, who has been under heavy fire and net all game long. She returns to her post. Milford without an official backup keeper on the roster. We saw in the game we covered against Attleboro last week when Murdoch had to briefly leave the field after getting shaken up. It was Kaylee Turtelot who subbed in under emergency duty. This ball left back for the defense by Mansfield. Just out of the reach of Ava Baglione, now dumped in by Kernan. Olivia Baglione with a little feed towards the corner, trying to find Nashawati, but she couldn't get there in time as the ball goes out of play. Popped straight up in the air by Seri, pushed forward by the most recent goal scorer, Megan McCann. Broken up by Seri. Carries towards the middle. Pass out of the vicinity of Baglione. Keelan Landry trying to pick it up, but now pushed into the box, and this time picked up by Murdoch out of the reach of Sophia Foley, who got the scoring started for Mansfield back in the first half. Four different goal scorers in this game so far for the Hornets. Tossin coming up here for the Scarlet Hawks with 26:42 on the second half clock. From what we can tell, mostly a lighter mist falling. As this ball comes loose inside the box, Milford tries to get an angle on the goal. It's Kaylee Turtelot who tried to push that one in towards the keeper. It deflects out off of Mansfield, so we will get a corner kick here for Milford. They're first in the second half. Not many looks on the Mansfield net for Milford so far in this second half. This ball comes in. Nashawati trying for the header. Ball driven back into the box by Kernan, now cleared out again by the Hornets and looped out of play, sending a couple of spectators ducking out of the way. Down the line for Nashawati, trying for a little self-pass, but it's knocked away by the Hornets. Driven back to the defense here, Seri. Good footwork. Trying to carve that towards the middle for Chloe Pierce. Pierce trying to win it back. Now it's Nashawati on the run. She can't get there. Free ball down the far sidelines all the way to the corner. And out, it'll be a goal kick. So as we start to look ahead to what the schedule looks like moving forward, unfortunately for Milford, the opposition does not get any easier. They'll be back at home coming up on Monday to take on the Franklin Panthers. Franklin right now in a tie for first place with King Philip. Both teams with 10 league points. Franklin with 4 wins on the year, King Philip with 6, but in a tie in terms of league points as Mansfield fires another one on net. At a stop by Murdoch, but right back into danger as this ball is angled in by Ali Fernandez, who has a goal in this game, but not here as Murdoch is able to make the save. So it's Franklin on Monday, then later on in the week, Milford will take on the second place team in the Davenport standings, Oliver Ames. Meanwhile here, slightly over 23 minutes to play as Nashawati makes the toss in, finds Olivia Baglione. Milford collapses in. It's Pierce trying to get an angle. Ball goes out of play. And that effort leads to a corner kick chance. out in front. The keeper far out of position, but this ball deflects back towards the near sideline and out of play. Under 22 minutes to play. And again, we urge everyone in our YouTube chat. We like to keep the chat open. We encourage conversation amongst our viewers during the game, but we do ask that you keep your comments constructive. And to, again, keep in mind that you're watching high school athletics. These are kids out there who are giving their best effort. As Mansfield turns around for a quick shot on net, Murdoch makes the stop. Shot taken by Sophia Foley. Substitutions in for Mansfield, still just at the midway point of the second half. Starters still out there for the most part for the Hornets, despite a big 5-goal lead. We were out here on the soccer field a week ago to see the Milford boys play to a big 5-0 win over the Canton Bulldogs. Milford still, the boys soccer team, I should say, still in second place position in their Kelly Rec standings. Right now, their record at 3-1-4. On Monday, the Milford boys played their King Philip counterparts to a scoreless draw. Right now, these two schools boys teams in action down in Mansfield. That game scheduled for a 6:30 start, so that will actually get going in just about 15 minutes from now. .52 on the second half clock. We'll get a toss in here just to the right of the Milford bench from Olivia Baglione. Dumped ahead from Kernan in the direction of Baglione. Ball deflected out. Played out again along the near sideline. Toss in from Olivia to Ava Baglione and then right back out again. We'll do it again with a little less than 18 minutes remaining. Crossing pass out of the reach of Chloe Pierce. Youth soccer kids doing the hard work on the sidelines, corralling all of these loose balls. And we'll give a quick shout out to the coach of this youth soccer team. That is none other than one of our Milford TV volunteers, Kyle Barlow, Milford High School junior. Doing some youth soccer coaching, and his team, after their performance last week, honored with the responsibility of working with the varsity club here on the sidelines. Milford with another chance to toss in. Too much contact there. Nashawati, the recipient of that contact. Milford will get the free kick. It'll be Taliaseri taking the kick. Straight up in the air. Kernan waiting for it to come down. A little early on that jump from Kernan. And another whistle, this time going against Milford. And more contact, this time Turtelot involved. And a Mansfield player a little bit shaken up after the contact. It looks like it is Gabby Seifert. And she'll have to hobble over to the sidelines. Milford trying to get things started across the middle. And meanwhile, for any of our Milford viewers wondering about football coverage for tomorrow, we'll get to that in just a moment as Mansfield gets a step on the defense and they keep the pressure on the scoreboard. It's Sophia Foley who started the scoring, and she'll deposit one in the net here with just over 14 and a half minutes remaining. That'll make it 6-0 in favor of the Hornets. So 2 goals now for Foley, 2 goals for Signoriello. Mansfield maybe not done yet, as Taliaseri slid in to send that ball out of play, and now she is in some pain. And cannot get to her feet. So we will have an injury timeout here, and as bad as the score is in this game, the last thing that Milford wants to see is another injury, and this one appears to be serious as Taliaseri is in a good deal of pain on the field. So we will step away for an injury timeout. 13:59 to go. A 6-0 lead for Mansfield here on Milford TV. Back here in the Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth, we've been in an extended injury timeout as Taliaseri slid in to make a defensive play. Has been down on the field and now getting carried off by one of her teammates to the sideline. As now trainer Ashley will also come in to assist. Right now Talia can't put any weight on her left knee. It looks to be the source of the injury. We took a second look at it on the live stream while we were in that break, and as she slid in on the knees to try to clear that ball out of harm's way, her leg ended up going underneath her and contorted that knee. Talia, who just returned from what I believe was a concussion, now dealing with what could be a significant knee injury, and just so unfortunate for a player that you can see always gives max effort out on the field, even in a game like this, down 6-0, trying to make a defensive play, sacrificing her body to do it, and now getting attended to on the sidelines, and a lot of concerned faces from her teammates as now we resume action with 13:55 to go in the second half. Again, a 6-0 lead for the Hornets. They've scored 4 goals so far here in the second half. And this ball spilling across the goal mouth and will go out of play. Head coach for Mansfield, Kevin Smith, is starting to get more and more of his bench involved in this game as we get into the later stages. Milford needing more from their offense as they continue on in this season. Their defense has been banged up in this last stretch. Taliaseri missing some games, as we mentioned, due to injury, and now out of the mix again. We've seen Alexa Landry in and out of the lineup with injuries. Needing their offense to try to keep them in the mix as the season goes on. They've been able to get Ava Baglione back out onto the offensive side of the field in these last few games. Meanwhile, Nashawati here with a chance, and she pushes this one in past the keeper, and this will finally get the offense generated here for Milford. There will be no shutout here tonight as Kyla puts that in to make it a 6-1 score. And so for Kyla Nashawati, that is her team leading 6th goal of the season. She has 4 assists as well. Isabella Lacerbo is second on the team with 2 goals. Olivia Baglione, Maya Santos, Paige Calden, and Ava Baglione all with single goals. So it is still Caitlin Trolio out there in net for Mansfield. They do right now have another keeper warming up on the sideline. Perhaps thinking about making a change here as we come down to the final 10 minutes of the second half. Now, again, it seems like the rain has dissipated for the moment. Weren't quite sure how the weather was going to hold up for this game, especially with the adjusted 5 p.m. start time. Thought we might be dealing with some rain and possible thunderstorms, but it seems as though with the pace that we're on, we should get things wrapped up here before any more severe weather rolls in. For the most part, these fall teams have benefited from a lot of very good, very mild weather. This has really been one of the only days that the possibility of postponing has even been a topic of conversation. Mansfield deploys some more subs before tossing in here. Under 9.5 minutes to play. The senior Megan McCann still out there. She scored earlier in the second half. And offsides. Mansfield a little too antsy there. Another substitution here away from the play is Emma McPherson, a junior for Mansfield. Looks to be favoring a potential knee injury, able to walk off the field. As that ball is blasted out of play, handled very well by the trainer's cart by Lori Pinto. Now Nashawati sends a good ball just out of the reach of Ava Baglione. Just a step slow there for Ava. So meanwhile, I think Mansfield did make the change in net, so I believe it is now Parker Selman, the junior, at the keeper spot. Baglione pushing forward. Now they're gathered in by number 12, Maddie Boyle, a sophomore for Mansfield. That's a name from the past over on the Milford side in this girls' soccer program. Now knocked into the box. Olivia Baglione there, couldn't get around her defender. It'll be a corner kick here for the Scarlet Hawks with right around 6 minutes remaining. Diving play for the keeper. This ball goes all the way the length of the field and out. Mansfield will toss it in. Now Nashawati back in to Baglione. The middle now and back to Olivia. Shoots this up the near sideline, but too far out of the reach of Nashawati. And the clock now frozen as we go under 5 minutes to play in the second half. Again, a 6-1 lead for Mansfield. It was a 2-0 score at the half. But Mansfield with 2 goals from Lauren Signoriello within the opening 10 minutes of the second half really broke the will of the Scarlet Hawks in this one. kept in. Now it's Nashawati. Little through ball to Ava Baglione. Got tripped up. No whistle on that contact. Olivia Baglione a little slow to get back into the play after receiving that toss in. Moving very gingerly as now she starts to get back into the play. Now here comes Mansfield up the middle, past two defenders, and a shot just wide to the near side. It was Sophia Foley, who's still out on the field here with the 5-goal lead. She was making a bid for a hat trick. Meanwhile, now Olivia Baglione off the field. She's getting attended to by the Milford training staff. So just a rough day all the way around for Milford, with Talia Seri going down with what looked like a significant knee injury. And Talia must have eventually made her way off the field. I don't see her anymore on the sideline. Now Olivia Baglione getting looked at for an injury as well. Meanwhile, just a minute or two left to go to wrap this one up. Milford will have a few days to digest what has been a rough week overall, with a couple of lopsided losses, and hoping to avoid making it 3 big losses in a row, but to do so, they'll have to find a way to contain a very potent Franklin Panthers team who has scored 19 goals so far on the season to just 8 goals allowed. As this ball comes in just wide of the Mansfield net, the Milford defense, meanwhile, with the 6 goals that they've allowed in this one, have now allowed a total of 25 goals scored on the season, and that has the inauspicious designation as the most goals allowed by any team in the Hockomock League to this point in the season. So this defense has to try to find a way to keep their opponents a little more in check. As we get the final whistle down at field level, so that puts the finishing touches on this one. So Milford, for the second game in a row, suffers a lopsided defeat here, this time at the hands of the Mansfield Hornets. The final score is 6-1. So again, we were going to start to make this point a little bit earlier, and then we didn't have a chance to with the action on the field. But just a heads up to all of our Milford viewers, while we will not have our Milford TV coverage available for the game tomorrow, Milford football will be on the road taking on the Natick Redhawks, but Natick Pegasus very graciously has given us access to the feed of their live coverage of the game tomorrow. So we will have that coverage available for you live only on our educational channel and our HD channel. It will not be live on YouTube, but if you're local here in Milford, You can catch the games on our educational channel or our Verizon HD channel, or you can go onto our website, milfordtv.net, and stream either our educational or HD channel to watch that Natick-Pegasus coverage of Milford's Week 4 football battle with Natick. Should be a good one. We appreciate Natick sharing the coverage with us, as, again, Milford will be on the road for football this week, and then we'll be on a bye week next week. But that's going to wrap things up here from the turf field tonight for this girls' soccer action, as we bring you the coverage live from the Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. That final score, one final time, Milford falls to Mansfield by a final score of 6-1. For Patrick Garapi, I am Tim Coet. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV, presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. So long, everybody.